Mike Acosta here for another edition of Space City Sports alongside Gerald Sanchez of the Legacy Sports Network. Catch all the high school action at lsnsports.com. Gerald, welcome back in to another edition. It is moving along in high school playoffs.
It certainly is, Mike. It's good to be back, and the state semifinals are this weekend for the UIL Texas High School Football Playoffs, which means the winner of these games will be playing in Arlington next week for the right to play for a state championship.
Man, it's exciting. It's that time of the year now, and I think the weather is going to be perfect at these sites. It's going to rain a little bit tomorrow. It might be foggy or something. It's going to be a little cold. Not as cold as it has been, but, that environment is just there for these playoff games.
It's good football weather, as they say.
Yeah, it is. So that's great. So where, again, are these games going to be at? And tell them how they can find them.
Well, fans can log on to lsnsports.com. That's the Legacy Sports Network, lsnsports.com. And they can listen tomorrow afternoon, Saturday, 2 o'clock, which our pregame will be at 1:45, and that'll be North Shore against the Austin Westlake Chaparrals. So the North Shore Mustangs going yet for another trip to the state championship game. They've got to get past Austin Westlake, which the last several years they have defeated Austin Westlake in this state semifinal round. So they'll kick off at 2 o'clock, and that game will be from Katie's Legacy Stadium. So Legacy Sports Network will be broadcasting from Legacy Stadium in Katy. And
I know you set it up like that, didn't you?
And then on Saturday night, tomorrow night, Humble Summer Creek. They are going to be playing Vandergrift, the Vandergrift Vipers. They're out of Austin, and that's another semifinal matchup. That's Division II in 6A, because high school football has two different divisions. In fact, all the sports now have two different divisions according to the enrollment in each classification. So North Shore and Westlake are Division I 6A, and the Division II 6A will be having Summer Creek against Vandergrift out of Austin. That'll be a 7 o'clock kick, and that will be from McLean Stadium.
Yeah.
And Waco. Yeah. In Waco. So we'll have both those games on lsnsports.com.
Awesome. And then when is the state championship game? How close are we there?
Well, it's next week, and the winner of these games will play on Saturday of next week. The Summer Creek and Vandergrift game will be a 3 o'clock game Saturday the 21st, and North Shore and Westlake will play, the winner of that will play at 7 o'clock on Saturday night, and those games will be from Arlington at Jerry World at AT&T Stadium. And if Summer Creek and North Shore win, we'll have those on the Legacy Sports Network.
Fantastic. And of course, we deal with a lot of baseball in our lives, Gerald, as some people out there might know. The Astros finally pulled the trigger today. They traded Kyle Tucker to the Chicago Cubs in that big deal. It was kind of rumored a couple days ago. They said the trade was imminent, and now it's happened.
It has, and that leaves the Astros with a spot that they're going to have to fill. But with what they got in the trade, it looks like they've got some pieces that they can build upon.
Yeah, and Kyle Tucker. Now, Kyle Tucker is a homegrown star. Made his debut in 2018. He was part of that run when they went down in Boston. The bodies just kind of gave out, and they ran out of steam in the LCS. But Kyle has been part of this dynasty that has been going on for the last several years. He caught the final out of the 22 World Series. And of course has become a fan favorite. But he's also going to be 28 next month. And he's also in the final year of his contract. So the Cubs are taking, somewhat of a risk, although I hear that his wife is from Chicago. So maybe he might want to re-sign there. So maybe the Astros, you wait and see and you see where this all lands. I heard that the pitcher, and I'm still looking at the names. I don't have them in front of me. I apologize. But the pitcher, I think, is a Sam Houston guy.
Aiden Wisniewski, yeah. And He's appeared in 66 career games, I want to say. So yeah, it's funny how that works. The Tuckers. Remember Cole Tucker was here. Preston Tucker, I beg your
Preston
pardon.
Tucker,
Preston
yeah.
Tucker was here before Kyle was. So we're familiar with that family. I got to see Preston play in the minor leagues when they came to Sugar Land, and he was on El Paso, the Chihuahuas, AAA of the San Diego Padres. So yeah, the Tucker family, well known to Houston, and wish Kyle all the best. He was a part of some really fun teams that he did make that last out in 2022, or he made he made the catch out in foul territory in right field, and he had some big hits for the Astros. So we're very appreciative of what he did. Wish him well, and yeah, you never know. I mean, to just see what happens because it's just going to be a 1-year deal. He's got the end of that contract, and maybe he comes back. Who knows?
Yeah, maybe so. And I don't think the Astros are done. This is just one of the dots along the way through the off season, and there's still the outcome for Alex Bregman. We have to see what's going to happen with him, and of course Juan Soto with his recent contract the other day with the conglomerate of banks that he acquired in his deal. So there's still more off season to come, but of course, as we know, the hot stove league would come quickly to an end, and then players are going to start reporting to spring training in just about 6 weeks or so. We'll be talking about the trucks leaving for Florida and Arizona respectively across MLB, Major League Baseball, and so yeah, I mean, I think there's still a little bit more time, that the Astros are kind of retooling, and that's what they have done in the past few years. They certainly have not been in a situation where they need to have a rebuild. This is not a tear down of the franchise or the roster at all. They still have Jose Altuve there, and like you were saying, they hopefully Alex Bregman comes back, and then they still have a lot of other talent there. There's also Yordan Alvarez that is in that lineup, so it's you have to give it a little patience. Not everything happens at once.
Yes, that's very true. And I was thinking about this, and I was having this conversation with some of the Legacy Sports Network broadcasters about the characteristics of these dynasties that we've had in recent years, talking about the Braves of the 90s into the 2000s and the Yankees of the 90s into the 2000s. And the backbone of those two successful franchises for those dynasties, as we know it, was the minor league system, the pipeline, how they built around, like the Braves built around, Maddox, Smoltz, and Glavine, Chipper Jones, and then they filled in the rest of the pieces with good minor league homegrown talent over the years. And the same with the Yankees. They had the core four of Pettit and Rivera and Bernie Williams and Derek Jeter. And they built around the talent, whether it be acquiring free agents with veterans or a pipeline. And that's what the Astros are going to have to replenish, is that pipeline, because it has been depleted a little bit due to the trades that they have made recently to keep this run going and pushing the chips all in. So now they need to replenish it, and let's see what happens here with this trade.
That's right. That's Gerald Sanchez from the Legacy Sports Network. Find all of the high school playoff action at lsnsports.com. Gerald, give them that website once again.
lsnsports.com.
That's right. That's another edition of Space City Sports right here on Houston City Beat. Also find everything that's going on with Houston City Beat across our social media channels and at HoustonCityBeat.com. For Gerald Sanchez of the Legacy Sports Network, I'm Mike Acosta. Until next time, so long, everybody.